श्री कृष्णपाल गुर्जर जी, आदरणीय चंद्रशेखर जी, राजीव रंजन जी, मनोज अग्रवाल जी और इस ईटल समारोह जो ये विचार मंथन है, विमर्श है, इसके प्रमुख सीईओ डॉक्टर रवि गुप्ता जी तथा अध्यक्ष श्री एमपी नारायणन जी, राकेश रंजन जी, राजीव अग्रवाल जी, महनाज अंसारी जी और सभी मित्रों, ये बहुत गौरव का विषय है कि आज हम स्मार्ट सिटीज के बारे में चर्चा के लिए यहाँ पे आए हैं और मैं यहाँ आमंत्रित करने के लिए आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। मैंने कहा राकेश जी से कि हम तो आपको सुनने के लिए आए हैं, हमें वहाँ बैठना चाहिए था और आपकी बातें हम सुनकर अधिक शिक्षित होकर यहाँ से जाते। I have simply come here to get more educated, to get more enriched, and I don't know whether the smart people make a smart city or smart city will make citizens more smarter. But like radio changed the way we used to listen and communicate, smart cities concept is going to change the way we live. It's going to change every aspect of our life in a very revolutionary manner. I remember the day we used to make outstation calls, trunk calls, waiting endlessly, Dehradun to Lucknow, 3 hours. And then suddenly the postal department person would shout, "Saab, aa gaya, aa jaiye, jaldi se baat kar lijiye." From those trunk call days to mobile telephoning, we have come a long way. But my basic premise is, don't make technology an instrument in the hands of rich and the elite. The technology, if it does not serve the poor, if it does not serve the common person, if it does not serve the farmers and laborers and the teachers and the housewives, then it is a luxury item. अगर आपका स्मार्ट सिटी का कॉन्सेप्ट, आपकी टेक्नोलॉजी साधारण गरीब व्यक्ति के हाथ का साधन नहीं बनती है और वे धनी और तथाकथित कुलीन वर्ग के हाथ का एक हिस्सा रहती है, तो विलासिता का साधन है, वो समाज परिवर्तन का साधन नहीं हो सकता। इसके लिए स्मार्ट सिटी की कल्पना जब हम करते हैं तो उसको साधारण लोगों तक पहुंचाने की भाषा में ले जाना चाहिए। स्मार्ट सिटी का मतलब है दक्ष शहर, अधिक बेहतर शहर, अधिक संवेदनशील शहर। A smart city must be able to address the problems of health and education and poverty and agriculture. Like I come from Uttarakhand, and if Dehradun is known world over for a very good school education, there are hundreds and hundreds of villages uphill which are frozen in time. You go to the schools and you find the primary school education like it used to be in 40s and 50s. So this kind of a gap, the societal gap, has to be bridged by the concept of smart cities. There are people in village areas, in rural areas, हमारे गांव में हैं लोग, वो नीचे शहर बीमार पड़ जाते हैं तो आज भी उनको चारपाई पर लाद कर 4 लोग जो हैं वो निकटतम शहर पर लेके जाते हैं। ये आज 2015 के उत्तराखंड की असलियत है। तो कहाँ की प्रगति हम कर रहे हैं? हम ये क्या अहंकार कर रहे हैं कि दुनिया भर में हम लोग सॉफ्टवेयर में लीडर हैं? Our honorable chair of NASSCOM is here. I mean, this is a fake kind of a pride if we say that we are leaders in software. Has the software able to mitigate the pains and problems of our rural India? Where has it reached? Have we been able to provide the uninterrupted internet services to our distant areas, even mobile telephone. टावर नहीं है आजकल तो फिल्मों में भी आ गया हेलो 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 साधारण सी चीज है and then we are talking of smart cities. So it's a great concept and we are grateful to our honorable Prime Minister who has given it, and it has injected a new confidence, a new power, and given us a new dreams for our future. I was just going through a UN report that 40,000 new urban cities have to be added in the next 5 years. 40,000. How many cities will be in India to be added? I think it should be more than 500. We have selected 100 cities as smart cities, and the response from the state is overwhelmingly enthusiastic. This is yes, it's a most coveted project of the Prime Minister, it's most coveted project of the Government of India, and we will be spending millions on it. Each city under the scheme will get an assistance of 100 crores for 5 years to develop their overall infrastructure. What that overall infrastructure would be. My list of that is, the first thing is to provide good drinking water in that area. It is the very, very first basic necessity. We don't have a proper mechanism to supply drinking water in our rural areas. And second is to improve the levels of education. I would be very happy to see, to get away with the culture of mineral water bottles from my dream smart city. Why should we have to buy water? Buying water was the last thing on the list of Indian people in all the times. The best thing you could have done, if you were rich, if you could have afforded, was to provide free water to the people. That was the concept here. It is a new concept that we have to buy water. Why can't we supply a perfectly potable drinking water to the people free of cost? Why should in a smart city people would need to buy water? And secondly, a good uniformly high level of our education. We may be good in some areas in school education, we may be good in some areas in higher education, but the levels are very, very differing from one city to the other city. Can we have a standard level based on merit, based on good faculty, based on e-schools and e-education, and provide the best of the schools which are available to the poor and the rich alike? The great divide in the education system which exists today is based on economic parameters. There are schools which take a fees of 7 to 8 lakhs and 10 lakhs per annum from a primary school student. And there are schools which are just for the poor people who are unable to pay fees. So let there be uniformity in the school education. Then health. Our public health system is in shambles. It needs a lot of care, and the smart cities must be having a very good health care system. Medical care should be available to the common people without spending through their nose. I'm sorry to say that yes, we are having a fabulously super specialty hospitals today in several metros, but the people say that these are more of a 5-star luxury hotels than a medical care centers. They charge so much that it is almost impossible for a common person to get a medical care from these super specialty hospitals. So smart city must have a proper medical care system in place for all the citizens uniformly. My idea is that a smart city uses information and communication technology to enhance its livability, workability, and sustainability. In simplest terms, there are three parts to that job: collecting, communicating, and crunching or analyzing. First, a smart city collects information about itself through sensors, other devices, and existing systems. Next, it communicates that data using wired or wireless networks. And third, it crunches or analyzes that data to understand what's happening now and what's likely to happen next. That is the way smart city should function. It's a long way. We will have to face a lot of hurdles and difficulties, because when we go back home and we see our cities and metros, even basic requirements like CCTVs are lacking, which are essential for today for security reasons and for also providing better facilities and monitoring our activities. So I hope that the government will take care of all these things, and organizations like ELET have a very vital role, very important role to ensure that this concept succeeds and delivers to the people. I am thankful to the organizers of this conference, and I wish them well, especially Garima ji and other dear friends who invited us here, and I hope that your deliberations will enrich the government, give new ideas, out-of-the-box ideas, new innovations in this sector, and this will create, like I used to say, the Maruti changed the roadmap of India. Smart cities will change the destiny of India. Thank you very much.